Terrible.
Seems to be getting
Incredible no horror creep.
Today we are back with a science fiction horror film directed and written by William Sachs that was released in 1977. The story revolves around an astronaut whose body begins to melt after being exposed to radiation during a space voyage to Saturn, forcing him to commit murders and eat human flesh in order to survive. Hello and welcome to Binge King. Before we start, go ahead and subscribe. Also press the bell button to get the latest updates about new movies. Watch out for spoilers and take care. Without any further delay, let us start. In the start of the movie, 3 astronauts are exposed to a blast of radiation during a space trip to Saturn, killing 2 of them and gravely injuring the third, Colonel Steve West. West awakens in a hospital on Earth, terrified to discover that the flesh on his face and hands is melting away. He strikes and kills a nurse, Bonnie Inch, while hysterical, then flees the hospital in a panic. Dr. Loring and Dr. Theodore, Ted Nelson, a scientist and West's buddy, notice the nurse's body releasing weak radiation and conclude West's body has turned radioactive. The act of producing radiation spontaneously is known as radioactivity. This is accomplished by an unstable atomic nucleus that wants to give up some energy in order to shift to a more stable configuration. Nelson believes West has gone insane and that the only way to stop the melting is for him to eat human flesh. Nelson contacts General Michael Perry, a US Air Force official who is familiar with West's accident, and the general agrees to assist Nelson in his research. West attacks and kills a fisherman in the woods, then confronts and scares a young girl named Carol who manages to flee uninjured. Nelson and Perry arrive at the scene of the crime where the body of the fisherman has been discovered. Sheriff Neil Blake suspected Nelson of knowing something, but Nelson refuses to tell him anything because Perry told him that any information about West was confidential. Nelson returns home later that night to his wife Judy, who informs him that her elderly mother Helen and Helen's lover Harold will be visiting for supper. Helen and Harold, however, are killed by West while on their way. When Blake discovers the dead, he summons Nelson, who arrives to identify the victims. Nelson hesitantly reveals West's condition after Blake demands an explanation aggressively. The more West's body decomposes, Nelson believes he's becoming stronger. West assaults and murders Perry back at Nelson's house, but Judy is unharmed. As West flees, Nelson and Blake arrive. West then comes across a married couple's residence after slicing his arm off with a cleaver. West kills the guy and attacks his wife, but she chases him away. When Blake gets a call about the attack, he takes Nelson with him to look into it. They're on their way to a massive power plant in the west. Blake tries to shoot West with a shotgun, but West kills him by throwing him onto electrical lines. Nelson is knocked over a railing by West, who leaves the doctor hanging on the side. West agrees to pull Nelson to safety after Nelson begs to him, telling him that they were friends. When 2 armed security guards come, Nelson is fatally shot in the face while attempting to protect West. West, enraged, assassinates the security guards and flees. He slowly and completely fades away after slumping against the side of a building. A janitor discovers his gruesome remains the next morning and nonchalantly mops them into a garbage pail. The next manned expedition to Saturn has been announced, according to enthusiastic review reports. Saturn is the 6th planet from the Sun and after Jupiter, the 2nd largest planet in the solar system. It is a gas giant with a radius roughly 9.5 times than that of Earth. Saturn has an average density of 1/8 that of Earth, yet it is 95% more massive due to its bigger volume. Imagine if your body starts melting all of a sudden. How will you feel and what will you do first? Tell us in the comment section below, and yes, we know some of you are making faces that it will be gruesome. The movie was also not liked much by some public due to the same reason that people believe a melting man looks so disgusting to watch. The name of this amazing movie is The Incredible Melting Man. The producers reshot sequences without Sachs' input during post-production. Alex Rapper played the main figure, with Burr Debening as a scientist attempting to help him, and Myron Healy as a US Air Force general attempting to apprehend him. Sachs was influenced by the Night of the Living Dead while writing and filming. The finished film has been described as a remake of First Man into Space 1959, which was influenced directly by the Quatermass experiment. Despite the fact that Sachs had never watched any of those films, the screenplay that Sachs dramatized was originally meant as a horror parody, but during production, humorous portions were cut and new horror scenes were inserted. Sachs stated that during production, the producers thought that a conventional horror film would be more commercially successful, and that as a result, the film suffered. American Overseas Pictures produced The Incredible Melting Man and handled theatrical distribution, while Columbia Pictures handled international rights under the Columbia EMI Warner Distributors name. Several homages to 1950s science fiction and horror films are included in the picture. The film's horrific makeup effects were created by makeup artist Rick Baker. He designed 4 distinct phases of makeup design in order for the main character's body to melt gradually. But the stages were eventually deleted from the finished picture. Despite the fact that the picture was commercially successful, it received most poorly reviews. Even critical reviewers praised Baker's makeup effects. Many moments that were reshot and modified by the producers, according to writer-director Sachs, were difficult owing to poor acting. The Incredible Melting Man appeared in the 1982 comedy It Came From Hollywood and was the inspiration for a scene in the science fiction action picture RoboCop 1987. It was also featured in a season 7 of episode Mystery Science Theater 3000, a comedy television series. Steve West was played by Alex Weber, who made only a few film appearances throughout his acting career. Dr. Ted Nelson was played by Burr Debenning, and General Michael Perry was played by Myron Healy, who was frequently featured as a villain in 1950s science fiction films, according to Everman. Matt Winters, one of West's victims, was played by director Jonathan Demme. Rainbeck Smith, who is widely known for her roles in movies, played a model who discovers one of West's victims during one of her shots in The Incredible Melting Man. That is all for today, folks. Tell us in the comment section what is your point of view about this amazing movie. See you soon with another amazing video.